Hi guys, this is Benj, and today I'm gonna bringing to you guys a solid yellow Fate State deck or Fate Zero deck because they have all this support and stuff. But basically a yellow Fate deck. Since my friend went on a vacation and he let me borrow all his decks so I can deck profile them. So with that being said, onto the deck profile. The first card my friend runs is 4. There you go. 4 of Innocent Girl Ilya. Pretty good card. It's a 0/0 yellow. Its ability is all your other master or homunculus characters gain a 500 power boost. Now, not everybody in this deck is either master or homunculus, but the people or the characters that are gain a nice power boost. So basically, that's all this does. It gives all your homunculus and your master characters a 500 power boost. Next, there are 4 of the 0/0 yellow usual Morning Shiro. Pretty good card. Its ability is when this card is placed onto the stage from your hand, you reveal the top card of your deck. If it's a 0 or lower character, you rest this card. And then the revealed card is returned back into the position or whatever. So basically, as long as it's a level 0 or lower character that you basically check on top card of your deck, it does become rest, so it kind of, sucks in that aspect. But if it's not, you potentially just play a 4K beater down. And since it is a master, the Ilya over here gives it an additional 500 power boost. So as long as you have 2 Ilyas behind this card and it gets played without being rested, it's basically a 5K beater. Just play it down. I'm 5K. I'm gonna attack. I'm 5K. Climax 6K. So basically, it's just beat down your opponent's stuff with it. Next, 2, and I often butcher people's names, and I butcher this chick's name all the time. It's Urzville von Enzeburn, or we'll just call her Vaughn because that's the only thing I guess I won't butcher. But 2 of this, it's a 0/0 yellow. It has the ability where you can pay 2. When a yellow climax is placed into your climax area, you can pay the cost. If you do, put the top card of your clock into your waiting room. So basically, this is a healer at the cost of paying 2 and placing any yellow climax. So it helps you out no matter when you play it, I guess, as long as you have enough stock to play and a climax in your hand to play it. But it's really good because it helps you heal no matter what level you are. So as long as you can pay 2 and put a climax, you're healing. So just 2 of this. The thing with this is though, is since you have to pay stock basically in order to play it. Sometimes you don't have the stock to play, or you want to play your other stuff, so you have to be consistent with your stock. So just 2, but when you need it to work the most, it does, because you just play it. Put a climax, pay 2, and you heal. So 2 of her. Next, 4 of Kiritsugu, or see, I always butcher their name. Kiritsugu, whatever you want to call him. But you play 4 of him, 0/0 yellow. Its first ability, the card that you search with it is not in this deck. But it's basically, you can pay 2 when you place them from your stage to your hand. You can pay the cost if you do you search for Writing Skill Saber, show it to your opponent, add it to your hand. That card's not in the deck, but it's mostly used for its second ability, which is when this card becomes reversed. If the card battling it is a level 0 or lower, you can put that character into your opponent's stock, and then your opponent puts the top card of the bottom card of their stock into their waiting room. This is really good because it's an essential kind of double reverser or suicider, if you want to call it. But it doesn't trigger your opponent's characters to be reversed. It just shoots them into the stock. So it's really good because it bypasses certain level 0s that have the ability where it's if this card is reversed, or if this card is put into the waiting room or something like that. You can bypass that because the card gets sent into the stock. So really good. So if your opponent has a big level 0, you can just run into it and then throw it into the stock. Or you can just potentially be that card has more attack than I do. So I can just run into it, because most of these usually have really low attack. But you know, if it's something stupid that's like, oh, when this card gets sent like reverse, you can pay something, send it to memory and stuff. Then with this, you can basically bypass it. So 4 of him. And the final level 0 is 2 of this 0/0 fighting together Shiro. The second ability, the pay 2 to search for the Saber's Master Shiro. I believe he is in here, or is he not? Nope, he's not in this deck. So the second ability, you at least in this deck, you don't use. But the first ability you do, and this is why there's only 2 of him. It's just basically all of your other master characters get the Encore ability, and it's the damage Encore. So you can basically just have him in the back and just, you know, oh look, my card died. I'm just gonna, you know, take a damage and basically, you know, bring it back. And basically all your level 0s are masters and or homunculus, so that Ilya gives them the power boost. So just 2 of him. So now on to the level 1s, which only some of these characters get a boost. Or only one of these doesn't get the boost, I guess. But the first card is 4 of this level 1 pay 1 Kiritsugu. It's a 7k beater. Obviously if you have the Ilya behind it, it's an 8k. You put a climax to 9k. So it's just there for beater purposes. So just 4 of this yellow thing, you just play down and just it's your beat stick. Beating down your opponents left and right. Furthermore, this one also gets the boost because it's a homunculus. It's 4 of this level 1/0 yellow puppet of her name is like supremely whatever the hell, but like we're just gonna call her the puppet lady. So like I always mispronounce her name. It's horrible, but her ability is just when you can pay 1, and when this card attacks, if you have, which we do run, Sign of Determination, and this climax is basically when you play it, you draw a card, give something 2k power, and you know 1 soul. But yeah, 4 of this too. And then when you trigger, you give something 2 soul. But basically, you can pay 1 whenever this card attacks. If that card is in your climax area, you can pay the cost, and if you do, you search your deck for up to 1 level 1 or higher master or servant character, reveal it to your opponent, and put it into your hand, and then shuffle your deck afterwards. So basically, this card's pretty good because you can call it out for free. It's a level 1, 5k power. Thanks to the Ilya, she's basically a 6k. You know, when you play the climax, you can give her the boost, so now she's at 8. But all she does is she has to attack. So, attack, pay 1 to search. To basically search your deck for a master servant, which is legitimately like your entire deck. So, it's pretty good because you get to search stuff with this. So yeah, you just, you know, show your opponent it's level 1 or higher, servant or master, and then add it to your hand. So, 4 of her. The final card, this one doesn't get the boost because it's servant royalty, but it's 4 of this level 1/0 saber. It's Styles of King Saber. So what this card does is when this card is placed onto the stage from your hand, choose one of your other master or homunculus character, and that character gains 1k power until the end of the turn. So you have to choose another one, so you can't choose Saber even though she doesn't have those traits. But this basically just allows you to give some of your characters just like, you know, the poke, or like that 1k power boost, so you know you can poke down stuff. But basically you just place it to boost something, and then just, you know, use this either to attack something open, or, you know, play a climax and try to get rid of something. But that 1k usually always comes in handy. So 4 of her. And now we're going up to level 2s. So now at level 2, the first level 2 comes in the form of 2 of this level 2 pay 1 Kiritsugu Mage Killer Punch. So basically all this is when you play it, it's a 3k backup level 2 punch. So you play it, you give something 3k, and that's basically it. So just 2 of this just as one of your backup things you use as a backup. But that's basically all he does. You just play it and use it for a backup. Next, there's 2 of this level 2 0 cost event punch thing. Demolition. This card's actually pretty good. Its ability is basically each player is return all cards from his or her waiting room into his or her deck, shuffle, and then afterwards you choose a character, you choose a card in your hand and put it into the waiting room, and if you do, you choose one of your characters and that character gains 2k power until the end of the turn. So basically this card's really good because you don't have to really pay anything for it, and you get a free shuffle out of this. So if you're running low on climaxes, you can just, alright, I'm going to place it and then like reshuffle. And since it's a reshuffle, you don't take that mandatory burn damage. So it helps you out late game because free shuffle, the card's free. You don't have to take that burn damage and you can get climaxes back. Discarding wise, just discard anything you really don't need. And then just giving something 2k power is just obviously to probably get over your opponent's character. But if not, the free shuffle is really nice. So 2 of that. Next is this event. Level 2 free thing called Search for Chestnut Bud. Just 2 of this event thing. Level 2 0 thing. Or pay 0 event thing. So its ability is when you play it, each player puts the top 3 cards of his or her deck into the waiting room. And if the number of level 1 or less characters put into the waiting room with this effect is more than the number of 0 or less characters in your opponent's waiting room, or the cards he sent, with the effect, you can draw a card and then put this card into stock. So potentially both players are going to mill the top 3 cards of their deck, and if basically, if the number of 1 or less characters you put in there is more than the amount of zeros or less your opponent puts in there, you basically get to draw a free card and just get a free stock. So potentially it's a potential free stock with like a draw aspect to it. And this can also screw up your opponent because if you see that they have a lot of like climaxes in their deck still, you can actually play this and maybe you'll hit one of the climaxes, and that was one of the cancels that we're gonna get. But it's still a pretty fun card because you can use it like in various aspects of like drawing and plussing and milling, to the point where you can like refresh yourself as well. So 2 of this event, it's pretty good. Last level 2 comes in the form of 2 of the level 2 pay 1 saber in a black suit, or a dark suit, my bad. Dark suit. It's the AK thing. Its ability is you can rest 2 of your characters and give this card 2k power until the end of the turn. So potentially you can just rest 2 things in the back and just make this a 10k beater. And that's basically all it serves in here. It's a 2k, it's a potential 10k beater, I guess, that you can use at level 2. So just 2 of her. Now on to the level 3s. The first level 3 comes in the form of 2 of this level 3 pay 2 Shiro. Shiro in the Morning Glow. Yeah. So this card's ability is when this card is placed onto the stage from your hand, you can put the top card of your clock into the waiting room. So when you play it, you get a free heal, or you just get a heal. Furthermore, its second ability is put a weapon character from your hand into the waiting room. When this card is placed on the stage from your hand, you can pay the cost. If you do, this card gains 2,500 power and 1 soul until the end of the turn. So the 2,500 power boost is really good because now you're seeing yourself at like, what is this, 12,500 power? And you get an extra soul so you can get more damage in there. And you get to heal. So potentially you just play this like near the end just so, you gain a soul and you become huge so you can get rid of your opponent's stuff. Just 2 of this. And the final card is 4 of this level 3 pay 2 Kiritsugu Benefits of Justice. Or is it benefit? Yeah, it's Believes in Justice. And you also play 4 of the Climax. So basically this Climax is really good. The Origin Shot. Really good because when you play it, you can give all your characters 1k, 1 soul all. But it also has the burn trigger thing. So when you trigger it, basically if your opponent cancels that damage, so let's say you hit for 3 damage and they cancel it. Well, after they cancel, they basically take 1 additional extra damage, which can be canceled. But it's pretty good because like if they cancel, and you know, you make them burn for damage and they reveal another climax, then they're basically screwed because they just canceled like the one free burn you get off this, so you can go in there for more damage. So 4 of this, it's really good. So onto this card, it's a level 3 pay 2 yellow. Its first ability is when this card is placed onto the stage from your hand, you choose one of your characters and that character gains 4k power and 1 soul until the end of the turn. So that's really good because you can give it to himself because it doesn't state who you can like, oh, another character. So you just get to choose a character, so you can give it to himself and use a 4k beer thing now that can attack for like 3 damage. And that's really good. Or not 3 damage, I mean 3 soul, my bad. But its second ability is when damage dealt from this card is cancelled during its attack, if you have this in the climax, you can basically choose one of your opponent's level 3 or lower characters in the center stage and put that card into your opponent's stock. So basically, when he comes into play and you give him all the effects, you're seeing him at, like going for 3 soul, and once you play the climax, he's going for 4 soul. So basically, what this card is establishing is like, I'm swinging for 4, and if you cancel, one card in your front row, level 3 or lower, is going into your stock. So it's basically, it helps benefit itself in a way then. So you can go for big damage, and then if your opponent cancels and you have the whole climax thing going for you, they're basically going to lose a character if it's 3 or lower. And it helps out, especially when your opponent has any 3 in the front row that's like really, really annoying, that has like really annoying effects and stuff. If your opponent cancels basically and you have your climax down, you're going to throw that card into their stock. So 4 of him, he's basically your end game. Whoa, the camera moved. But he's basically your end game. Like, you know, you just go for him end game and then burn and become huge and do damage and stuff. But that's basically it. So that's it for this deck profile. We're gonna bring you more deck profiles soon. And with that being said, like and comment and stuff. And I'll see you guys in the next video.